Talofa Faithful, how is everybody doing? Welcome to your Niner Faithful Radio Week in Review show. It's me, it's the captain, and we're going sailing again this week against the New England Patriots this week. We got Bebop in the house. Sup, Smash? How you doing? Still calling me by the old school name before I changed over to I evolved like a Pokemon into the captain. So what's up, Bebop? How's it going, my brother? But yeah, so a little bit different this week. No adult beverage for me. I've got to get up hella early. I got to get up at like 2 a.m. to go to work tomorrow. So there's no adult beverage to me. It's just my my sleepy night tea. So as soon as basically as soon as the show is over, I'm crawling into bed. And like I said, I got to get up at 2 a.m. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and hit the actual intro. And I'll be back with TJ here in just a minute. Find it.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side, and Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown, 49ers! First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record.
You are now tuned in to NFR Weekly News Wrap, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
What is up, my dude? How's it going, brother?
What's cracking, bro?
Not much. Just another day, another dollar.
My girl made my. I got it, bro. I got it.
Okay.
My girl made my drink hella strong. Like, fuck.
We know who's being used tonight.
Bro, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. This shit kind of kicking my ass, bro.
Yeah, I got the like I said. Since I've got to get up so damn early, I got just my sleep tea so I can fall asleep because I got to get up at 2 a.m. Man, it's gonna be a rough. The good thing is that I got to get up at 2 a.m. I'll be done with work by like 6:30, so it's a quick, easy shift on the weekend, and then I still got the whole day.
Well, like Monday was cool for me. So Monday, I don't remember. I think I got up at 5. I can't remember what time I got up on Monday, but that's after going to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so, you know, it was rough. It was rough until your boy pounded a goat fuel. By the way, yeah, Jerry, come sponsor us, Jerry. I would love to be a sponsor for goat fuel. No. It was rough until I pounded that goat fuel, but it was real nice getting off of work at 1:15. I was like, shit, what do I do with myself?
Like I said, once you get used to like an early start where you start at 4 or 5 a.m. and you're done by, you've actually done a full shift by 12 noon, this shit's nice. Like with me, a lot of the guys that I play games with and stuff like that, when I game with them, they're all East Coast. So when you think about it, you're basically on an East Coast schedule. So it kind of works out. Like I said, I like it.
No, honestly, truthfully, work schedule wise, maybe not people actually showing up on time wise, but work schedule wise, my favorite schedule was when I did freight for Dollar Tree. I'd get up at 3:30. Me and my girl would smoke, drive to work real fast, smoke real quick. But I would usually start work at 4. Truck would get there maybe 5 or 6, and do the truck for a couple hours, and I was ready to rock and roll. By like 7, 8 o'clock, I'm off of work, and it's like, okay, I'm going back to bed, Yeah,
at that point, yeah. But yeah, so everybody have your adult beverage. Like I said, I got my Go Kraken, by the way, because hockey preseason's just now getting going. Cheers. Salute, everybody. Like I said, unfortunately, it's just non-alcoholic for me.
Ooh, I wish mine was. My girl, like, I told her, I was like, because she was like, I totally lost track of time. I was playing FC24, and I'm chilling, and my girl, like, she had been home for a while, but I was like, whatever. She's talking to her homegirl. She's got her homegirl sister's birthday tomorrow. And also, my girl comes in the room. Is like, babe, what time's your show today? I was like, what? She goes, it's almost 6 o'clock. I was like, fuck. So I ran outside real quick. I messaged you. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to make my drink, but take a piss. My girl was like, how can I help you, babe? I was like, look, pour 2 shots of vodka in this and add a Sprite. And my girl's like, might be more than 2 shots. I took a sip. I was like, oh.
She poured the Sprite into the bottle of vodka.
I fucking A, bro. I was like, damn, babe. And she's like, here, let me get you another Sprite. She's like, in case you need it. I was like, I'm probably going to need it.
She's taking advantage of you tonight, that's for sure.
Fucking A. Trying to get me to pass out early.
Before we go any further, and this is something for me and you mostly, RIP to Miss Maggie Smith, a.k.a.
I was going to say that.
I was a Princess Professor McGonagall. Both of us being Potterheads, you know. I won't say we grew up because I think I was pretty grown up by the time Harry Potter started. But, you know, big Harry Potter fans between the two of us. And, you know, we lost one badass witch.
Yeah, no. I mean, I posted on Facebook. My girl sent me the message. I woke up this morning and I saw that she sent me a gift. And it was the wands up from the 6th one, you know, when they're saluting Dumbledore. But that's kind of like what we all, us Potterheads, do whenever, you know, somebody from the Potterverse dies. And she had sent me that, and we were just talking about Maggie Smith the other day, and you know, Hook.
Yep. Really good actress. Like, I mean, she's going to be known for eternally.
Yeah.
As Professor McGonagall.
Professor McGonagall. Yeah.
But she's been in a ton of stuff over the years. You know, really good, really good actress over the years.
If you're into British TV like Bubby and I are, there's a show called Downton Abbey.
Yep, I know. Me and Deb watch it.
Yeah, so it was funny because spoiler alert, they have 2 movies. In the second movie, she dies, and that's basically kind of the point of it. And so I was telling my girl today, I was like, look, we gotta watch Harry Potter tonight, babe, and light a candle for her.
Yep,
and she,
for sure.
And I was like, yeah, I can't watch the second Downton Abbey movie tonight. It's way too soon. I said I'll be bawling like a little bitch. You know, because like she actually dies in the movie, but you know she just died in real life. So I was like, I can't do Downton Abbey. That might be a little too soon for your boy. I said, but we could give her a proper salute with you know, watching. So we're gonna watch Half-Blood Prince tonight. So
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, R.I.P. Miss Maggie Smith, man. Like,
indeed,
we lost a real one.
You know, all right. So let's go ahead and get into this. Obviously, we have the Patriots this week, and of course. You know, I was gonna find some sort of funny one to get everything going. I ain't gonna lie. You like how Brandon Staley's kind of looking over his shoulder at Sorensen over there, like, "Hey, I'm coming for your job."
For real.
I mean, something's got to get fixed with this defense, man. This defense is atrocious. I think
it's the worst defense in the league.
Well, I think Shanahan's first-year defense was better than this shit.
Well, yeah, because I mean, what people seem to fail to realize is it wasn't like we were getting blown out. Yeah. Matter of fact, we set a record for most games decided by I think it was like 5 points or less.
Yeah, that was kind of a good year in a way because we had a ton of exciting games.
Yeah, I mean there were a lot of, you know, it's like, look, for where we were at the time, I thought it was the best you can get. The games are entertaining. You know, you have positive things to take away from them while still accumulating losses to get you a better pick in 2018.
Yeah. So we were entertained at the very least. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
What's up, Mr. Corona? How's it going, my brother? Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, I was cracking everybody in the chat. My bad. I didn't get a chance to say what's up to y'all.
But yeah, so, you know, we definitely got that looking forward to. This defense, and like I said, this is probably as simple as this one was to make. This is kind of one of my favorite thumbnails that I've made just because it's kind of goofy. It just kind of works with everything.
Yeah, so, red coats versus the blue coats.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
It works for every aspect of this thing.
And I mean, let's be real. How often are we really going to be able to make this? It's going to be, you know, unless the weird 7th week game or whatever. But it's going to be another 4 years before we were able to make this in theory. So
can I just save this one and use it again?
yeah, right. Like I think after 4 years you're allowed to reuse it.
All right, so I believe the next slide is one that's just nobody's going to look at.
Whew.
Man, it just fucking injuries, man. What the hell is going on?
I didn't even hear about Jacob Cowing.
He's sick. He's just got like a flu, sick.
Yeah.
Like, nothing. They haven't said that it's like COVID or anything like that to where he could be out a significant amount of time. It just looks like, maybe he's got a stomach flu or something like that. Dude, Curtis Robinson, man. I was really hoping to see him a lot this week.
Yeah, I really was. We were talking about it on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it wasn't just us, every other content creator for the Niners talking about, hey, can we get some Curtis Robinson? Can we get some more
deep well in the preseason?
He did. So, again, definitely wanted to see him get some playing time, especially with, the Devondre Campbell just not working out, especially in coverage. He's okay versus the run, but against coverage, he's just absolutely terrible. So, good luck, Curtis, man. Heal up. You've got pretty much. We'll see you next training camp for the most part.
Yeah, hopefully.
And obviously,
man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Grinding all those years on the practice squad. Probably we're going to get some playing time this year, and this happens. Fucking hey, bro. And
I don't know if you heard, it was a non-contact injury. So, AKA, it was basically Greenlaw all over again. Just walking out there. I'm not sure if he was jumping up and down or whatever it was, like Greenlaw was at a Super Bowl, but just another non-contact injury.
Well, that's why as soon as I heard non-contact, I was like, oh, it's an ACL. Like, we're trained as football fans. Yeah, we're trained as football fans that if it's a non-contact and they're grabbing at their knee, it's an ACL, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's otherwise, what else are you getting in a non-contact? I mean, maybe you trip and fall and dislocate your shoulder, but that's about the only other thing I could think of that you could do it. Let's see, Bebop. I hurt my finger 2 days ago. Been pissed about it, to be honest. Yeah,
bro. I have the gnarliest. Like, y'all see my pinkies, bro. Like, and this one used to be worse. Like,
there you go. Watch this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't do it that far, but yeah. I
there's no knuckle there.
Yeah, I got some homies that got some pretty gruesome finger injuries. Rumor is that Marco Scudero, for all of us that are Giants fans as well as Niner fans, you'll remember the 2012 NLCS. He gets hurt against the Cardinals, and opted to continue to play versus getting surgery and ending a season. And apparently his pinky's basically just like stuck like that permanently now. Yeah.
Bebop.
Like it's
well, Bebop, I'm telling you this. Should you get married, don't piss off your wife, because that's what happens.
I don't even want to know what happened, Brad. I'm kind of scared to find out. Oh, FYI, before
you're gonna be here with her.
Yeah, but she won't get as pissed as me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not her husband, bro.
Sure about that?
So I'm not her husband, so it's very easy for, hey, babe, why don't you go hang out with Deb? So FYI, or I'll talk to you about that after the show. Trip stuff.
Okay.
Which, by the way, next I will not be able to be here next week. Your boy's gonna miss a paycheck. So next week, which will be the day we out. This week was the last week before this week was a check that basically last Friday before we leave. Yeah. All the hours were going to be on this check. Next week's the one that the day we leave, I get paid. So your boy's trying to get as many hours these last 2 weeks as possible.
I volunteer for this early half shift tomorrow.
Bro, I was kind of, hey, if y'all, especially if you want it like a half shift, like I don't know if I was necessarily going to work to 8, but hey, if y'all want to work your boy till 6 o'clock, like I was kind of volunteering myself, but So I will not be here next week. I have to work
right.
next Friday. So
and then obviously we've got Javon Hargraves, who we do
Yeah.
know, we've already known about that. He's gone most likely unless we make a very deep playoff run. Even then, it's like kind of iffy.
Yeah, at that point, what's the point of bringing him back?
Yeah,
let's be real. If we make that deep of a playoff run, do we need him back? Like, think about it. That obviously means whatever replacement's been doing well.
Yeah. Who, speaking of, Jordan Elliott.
Fucking hey, bro. I heard that. I was like, bro, it's 2020, cuz.
He is just, I guess he just rolled up on, and I liked your theory earlier when we were texting back and forth, your theory. So Jordan Elliott apparently rolled his ankle on somebody else. So it's not like, they don't think it's very serious, just a normal ankle sprain. And then lo and behold, supposedly Trent Williams' toe was hurting him yesterday. Mr. Williams walked in today very slowly, having a real hard time walking. Was it Trent Williams that Jordan Elliott rolled his foot on? Because, obviously, you got offensive versus defensive line drills. So, again, your theory works out at the very least. You know what I mean? So,
how else does, we all know turf toe. Look, I'll never laugh at a toe injury after essentially a toe injury ended Patrick Willis's career.
Yep.
So, and I don't know this for a fact, but what I've always heard is they basically said if he got another toe injury, he was going to have his foot amputated. And that's why in his goodbye press conference, he was talking a lot about, hey, I don't want to be one of those old guys limping around. I want to be able to fully function. Anyway, so I don't understand why the team wouldn't just come out and say it. Maybe because they don't want Jordan Elliott to get death threats. Because let's be real, if you got a soul like the infinity rings, a soul for a soul. No offense, I actually think Jordan Elliott. I'm excited about Jordan Elliott because why? Obviously, he's not going to give turf toe is.
What's up, Kenny?
Yeah. No, hey, turf toe is real big deal. I remember T.O. missed like 3 or 4 weeks one time with turf toe. So a soul for a soul, obviously we would. I'm excited about Jordan Elliott because I think he'll upgrade the run game, which let's be real.
Needs it.
I'm okay taking a step back in pass rush because I feel that we have the bodies in order to, make the pass rush cracking in order to up our run game. So I'm actually almost excited to have Jordan Elliott. But let's be real. If I had to choose who plays this game, Jordan Elliott or Trent Williams, come on, brother.
Sorry, Jordan.
Number 71. Yeah, sorry, bro, but because New England's defense is, bro, they're legit.
Then we also got D. Winters, who hurt himself again in the game. So he's questionable. George Kittle seems to be back and will be playing again on Sunday. Same thing with Debo. We did skip Debo up on this. Brock seems to be doing pretty good. No more back, hurting on the back or anything like that. Obviously, like we talked about earlier, Jacob Cowling is just sick. He should be okay. Hopefully, like I said, no indication he's got the vid or anything like that, or else they probably would say it and they'd keep him away from it, but they haven't said about that.
I would assume they still have a COVID-19 list.
Yeah, probably.
So if he had COVID, he would legally have to go on the COVID-19 list.
It's not like COVID's disappeared. It's not like what it was, but it's still here. Unless they changed the protocols and I just don't know about it.
Yeah, I've never heard anything.
Yeah. Talanoa Hufanga rolled his ankle too, apparently. So, put tape on these.
What's worse, 2020, when you just realized week 2 that pretty much the season was done, or this year where it's a lot of like, let's be real. Now we have Curtis Robinson and Javon Hargrave. But before, the concern wasn't that these injuries were long-term minus CMC, which I'm pretty sure we'll get to. We know we know Debo was going to come back. We know Kittle Corn was going to come back. We know Big Play Dre is going to come back. What's worse, just knowing that, hey, these players are out for this season, it's done, and we'll see y'all next September? Or these little like biting injuries where you almost have hope. because it's like, hey, if we can stay afloat, like I was telling Jamie last Saturday, if we can maintain at least a 500 record, we get these players back, and then we start to go on a roll. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
I don't know which is worse. Like just having the season be done week 2 and laying in my president's fucking living room, fucking contemplating suicide because Nick Bosa is done for the year, or these little nagging injuries that I don't know if you've ever seen the Robin Williams golf.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that part he goes, and they put a flag at the end to give you fucking hope. Right. That's how I feel. Like these injuries and everything. It's just like the little flag at the end that gives us hope.
Yeah. It's just like, I would almost say this one is worse simply because.
Me too.
Like you said, the little bit of okay, we got this back. We're constantly looking. What up, Terradome? How's it going, my brother?
What up, Terradome? I'm assuming you're meaning Miami, right, Terradome?
If you're gonna tear me down, just do it all in one stroke.
That's what I'm saying.
Just pull the Band-Aid off and tell me, look, this ain't happening this year, and then we'll just okay. I can go off, the rest of the season. Knowing that we're not going to be doing it. I knew
Gator
that was
bait,
coming.
baby. Gator bait.
That was coming. I can go off the rest of the season like, okay, I don't have to get my hopes up. Maybe we can steal a game against the Chiefs or something stupid like that.
Just cry girls.
Yeah.
Beat
like
the
that.
yams.
But,
I'm with you, brother.
I don't want to die by 1,000 holes.
Like a 1,000 paper cuts. I'd rather know, and then you and I can discuss as co-hosts. Hey, how do we're obviously approaching the rest of the season differently as far as the content.
Yeah.
I'd rather know and just say, okay, let's prepare for what the season is going to be, and the lack of viewership and everything that's going to come with a down season, than holding on for hope, until week 13, and
it's not good for the heart and the soul to keep trying.
It's not, bruh.
It puts a lot of stress on you.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm starting to look at my hair, and you're actually.
I got last year compared to this year, man.
I got a little self-conscious. I've been going to the same barber since I was 16. Diehard Niner fan. Legit, like he was invited personally by Charles Haley to Charles Haley's Hall of Fame introduction, has pictures with Charles Haley at the Hall of Fame introduction. Like this dude, like cut the Niners hair in the locker room. He's told me some stories that I'll tell you when we get up there, bro, because these stories can't be shared on air. But he's told me some stories about some 80s Niners locker rooms, brother. And he was lining up my hair last time. He goes, "Hey, nephew." He goes, "Neff." Because your hairline's kind of sneaking up a little bit, and everything like that. I was like, "Shut up, Unc."
Yeah. So
yeah. Who are you telling? I told you what happened last week when we lost to the Yams. My girl knows. Like, I almost feel so bad for her, bro, because she'll always keep the score on this little, like, how on your phone you can have that little, like, I don't know what to call it, but the little app. Yeah. Almost like a timer. You know how you can minimize it and kind of have it in the corner of your phone. Well, she always has that anytime the Niners are playing, so she knows how to. Like tomorrow night, she's gonna pick me up. I might take the bus to the game on Sunday, but she's gonna pick me up. She likes to keep that. Hey, do I walk in like, "What's up, babe? How about that game?" Or do I just simply say fucking quiet for the next 6 hours
until we get home?
And I always feel bad because she gets such anxiety, like, oh my god, he's gonna be. And so, bro, I'd rather just know the season's done. Let me prepare, all that type of stuff, than give me hope for no fucking reason.
But that's the joy of the season, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So far for transactions this week, all we've had is the release of Tracy Walker from the practice squad, and then we signed defensive tackle Shaquille Brown to the practice squad. Now, obviously, right now, we're going to be releasing a few people because of injuries. Obviously, that's going to be Javon Hargraves and Curtis Roberts. We're not releasing them, but, So we're gonna have to.
We're gonna have room on the roster.
Yeah, we're gonna have room on the roster for 3 people. Evan Anderson better be one of these people. He almost at this point has to be. I would think.
What are you waiting for? I don't understand why he hasn't already been called up.
Maybe I don't know if they're trying to trade with somebody or do something like that, but it's too late to do a trade for this week. So I don't know. So tomorrow will be interesting to see what we bring up off the practice squad.
I'll try to make sure that Jamie does the show after the transactions aren't announced. So,
yeah. But yeah, so this will be interesting. You know, we'll have more of that coming up tomorrow. But yeah, so and I bet you especially over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're gonna have a lot of transactions hanging. Just because we're almost gonna have to semi-flip this roster to an extent with some of these injuries.
The bottom, yeah,
the bottom half of the roster is gonna have to start flipping a little bit because we're losing depth and people like that. So we'll see what happens. But let's get into the Patriots proper. Obviously, there is no more Bill Belichick for the first time since
Thank God.
1842.
Yeah, right.
I mean, good on him. He still wants to come back and coach. Dude, you're like 70 years, arguably one of the top 3 coach of all time. Just chill.
Honestly, I wouldn't necessarily look. Big ups for you and I discussed at length this offseason about Kyle checking his ego and offering Bill Belichick the DC job and realizing that Bill could go, could look at Kyle and say, "Hey, Kyle, you see my rings? Pick up the phone, bro. I got 7 rings, or 6, sorry." But I wouldn't necessarily want Bill Belichick to be my head coach, but I would damn sure love him to be a consultant.
Alex,
I don't know how.
It's like younger Bill.
Looks like a big Belichick.
I can see it.
Yeah. Maybe like a third cousin, twice removed. I don't know how you feel about that, Jason, but if Bill Belichick, let's just say, crazy scenario, Kyle gets fired this year. I don't know if Bill Belichick would be somebody I would want as head coach, but if Bill Belichick wants to come in and be a consultant to the Niners, I pick him up from SJU basically our airport. I can't think of the name right now. I'd pick him up from the airport myself and drive him to the facility if he wants to be a consultant.
I'd take him as a coach. I would take him as a coach as long as there's an agreement that within 5 years, the successor is on the staff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Within 5 years, you'll be gone, and then that way your successor is already in place.
Yeah, because I could definitely see the one thing, and I know this isn't the scope of today's show, but I wonder, I said this last year after the Super Bowl, Jason, and depending on how the rest of the season goes, we will probably get into it if the season goes south. But are we trapped with Kyle simply because Jed's afraid? Because let's be real, the Yorks have not had the greatest success of hiring. They've gotten 2 coaches. They've gotten Jim Harbaugh and Kyle Shanahan. Steve Mariucci wasn't a York hire. No. So from after Steve Mariucci to basically Jim Harbaugh, you had complete duds, which I will take some credit for that because I was all on board for Singletary. I don't know how you felt, but I was at the game. He was announced head coach, that Washington game at the Stick. I believe no, my bad. That wasn't the last game. I went to the Stick. But basically they've gotten 2 head coaches in 30 plus years. So I wonder if we're stuck with Kyle just simply because it's so afraid to move on because Harbaugh syndrome. We all know that the mistake it was firing. I don't think firing Harbaugh was the mistake. There were football reasons besides the personal issues and this meeting is for men only and all that type of shit. There were football reasons to fire Jim Harbaugh. The issue was hiring Jim Tom Sula, right? Yeah. So I wonder if we're stuck in this weird almost like the Yams when they had Jeff Fisher, where it's like, dude, you could do a lot worse than Jeff Fisher. Do we sign Jalen Graham off the Commanders practice squad? At this point, why did you cut him? I mean, I understand hindsight is 2020, but I mean, media, I'm at the point
Definitely an
where
option.
why hasn't that been done yet? I don't. What you're hoping to hold out for October for Drake Greenlaw? Cool. Bring up Jalen Graham for a couple weeks, and then we'll get to that point when we get to that point. But yeah, that's the first call I'm making Saturday is to Jalen Graham, telling him he's been signed to the 53-man roster.
All right, so let's get back to the Patriots and their coaching staff. So we got Jared Mayo. So, who I remember him playing, and then during his playing days, he was a badass linebacker. I know, man. Damn good linebacker. I think
D'Amico-ish?
Very, very D'Amico-ish. I think, he's got a little bit of a too young of a team. There's a whole bunch of young guys on this team. This is a team that probably needs 3 or 4 years. Talk to me probably 2028. My Hurricanes looking mighty shady. All right. He's got the Hurricanes.
Go Gators.
What's going on up in here? Oh, no, that's right. He's talking about the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So, but defensive rookie of the year 2018, one-time All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowl, has an amazing pedigree. But like I said, this team needs a serious rebuild. Obviously, they've got the quarterback of the future with Drake May on there. They've got a few young guys. Like I said, this is going to be a team that takes off probably 2020, like late 2027. I can see them going on a little bit of a run. But then 2028, I see them as being serious contenders. Because by then, they'll have all of their players together. Everybody will be, playing together for a couple of years. And they should be ready by about then. Alex Van Pelt has been around for a while. Kind of a basic head coach, if you will. Very Greg Roman-ish, if kind of the offense that he runs. So nothing crazy. And then DeMarcus Covington runs a very Vikings-ish defense, probably put together a lot by Jared Mayo as well. They're going to throw all sorts of different fronts at Brock, which we know he does struggle with at times. And with that, they're also going to jump out of those fronts right before the ball snaps. So it's going to be, as much as we want Brock to have a good day, it's going to be one of those things. Now, they don't have the talent the Vikings do to necessarily pull it off.
Yeah.
But the system is pretty much exactly the same.
They kind of remind me 2017, where you could see signs of, hey, like they've got the coaching staff. This team's going to be legit. They just simply need the talent. They just don't have the talent to compete.
Yeah.
This
what
game,
up, man? Thank you for showing up, brother.
I mean, like, obviously, holla at me and see who's actually available on Saturday. I mean, fuck, at this point, somebody could roll an ankle during walkthrough. Fucking it. But
I mean, we just had a guy tear an ACL on a walkthrough, basically. So
this game, like, let's be obviously, calm me down if I'm tripping, Jason. The Niners should win this game, right? Like, I'm not tripping. Like, the Niners, like we got some serious issues if we're fucking around and losing to the Patriots. All due respect to the Patriots, but Super Bowl contenders, I feel that we had our one fluke loss.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota. No, I'm not going to count the Yams. I'm not going to count the Yams just because, like, that's a division game, desperate team, all that. But on paper, I feel like we should have beat Minnesota. So this is the type of game where I see them sticking around. I see our bullholes being a little bit clinched by halftime. But by the third, fourth quarter, especially if we have Debo and Kittle back, it should start to be like, look, they hung around with us. They gave a good effort, but we're just too good of a football team for them to hang around all 4 quarters. Like, if it's the fourth quarter, if it's a tie game going in the fourth quarter, and you ask me to bet my bottom dollar, I'm putting it on the Patriots, bro. Right now, the Niners have not shown me the killer instinct to put a team away.
Oh, they have
If
no sort of mental toughness right now. They're weak mentally.
Yeah, if we don't blow a team out, you know, I kind of question it a little bit. I kind of question, which is sad to say because, you know, I feel like we do have championship quality players on this football team, but I haven't seen it. Let's be real. You got out. You were front runners against the Jets. You know, Aaron Rodgers, week 1, coming back from Achilles. That had a Niners win all over it.
Take care, Angel. Have a good night, brother.
Yeah, of course, bro. Go have a legendary night. Week 2, I wouldn't say we were dominated, but the Vikings basically had the control of that game.
Yeah.
We were going to say the Niners pulled one out of their ass if they won that ball game, correct?
Yeah.
And then last week, that's a collapse, bro. That has a potential if the season goes south to have a Thanksgiving against the Seahawks in 2014 type of vibe. You know?
I don't think it was that bad. But I will say this. Everybody who said Manti Te'o was stupid and didn't know what he was talking about, he knew what he was talking about. Sorry. There is definitely a vibe in this. And I don't think it's necessarily the Super Bowl hangover vibe that he was trying to say it was, per se. I think it's just at this point, we've got too many fat cats on this team. And at this point, it's just, we've been there twice. We've been to, NFC Championship game. How many years? And all this. So at some point, it's just like, are we just it? Yes, Manti Te'o was on it. I'm sorry. And I saw so many people who were telling me I was dumb. I didn't know what I was talking about. Like, what the vibes are great. The vibes are not great. You can just, the guys don't, there's not a bounce in the step. They don't have, and I don't want to call it necessarily, you always want to have you want to be on that edge of confidence to where you're just about to be cocky. There's that knife's edge you got to walk at confidence, being confident in yourself to where you don't get too cocky. And they've lived on that edge for, the last 3 or 4 years. They're not there right now. It's a very blunt edge.
I will say this. Last year, it was very clear the team had motivation. The team had the motivation of, if our quarterback damn near did not get his arm ripped off, right, we would have beat the Eagles and whatever happens in the Super Bowl, right? That was clearly the motivation and the echo of this football team. And I said it. You and I both came on air Tuesday, even though I seen Eagles cry, and I was, at Canyon Inn and everything like that. You and I said that the Eagles game wasn't the Super Bowl. What's the Niners calling card this year? What's the thing that we point out to get motivated this year?
We don't have one. We don't have it.
Although you and I were very, hey, pay BA, we had restrictions, like we weren't going to give them $35 million a year or whatever. But hey, we were both on board with pay BA.
Yeah.
We were both on board with pay CMC.
Mm-hmm.
We were both on board with pay Trent because you got to. You got no fucking choice but to pay Trent Williams. Steve Young brought something up during the Trent negotiation that I kind of put to the side, and I don't want to say ignored, but was like, but he said, you got a lot of players on this team that want to be the highest paid at their position, but why? You don't have a ring. It's almost like Harbaugh saying, I want to be played by like a Super Bowl winning coach, but you haven't won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I look like. Like even Debo. And I agreed with Debo when he said it because, look, majority of the years we can go through later on in the season and break down each of the individual years. From start to finish, 2019, last year, and maybe 22, you could say start to finish minus the Super Bowl, we were the best team in football, correct?
Yeah.
Like 2019, we were the best team in football. We faded towards the end. 2022, yeah, legitimately, I think if Brock doesn't rip out his arm, I think we get to the Super Bowl. I think we get to the Super Bowl. Now, whether we would have beat won the Super Bowl, whatever. We could have that argument later. It's almost like the players are starting to act like they've won a championship before they've actually won a championship. Like, I called out George Kittle. Y'all know how much I love Kittle Core, right? Like, there's no question how much George Kittle is my favorite Niner on the team. But where was that "I'll return with a motherfucking vengeance," right? Like, I didn't see that from Kittle Core last year. I saw a very like, "Hey, we're just happy to be here," and I said it the week before the Super Bowl. Did I not, Jason? That the team had a very, "Hey, we're just happy to be here" type of attitude. Where's that killer instinct? Where's that drive that says we have not won shit? Because look, if you're looking to win the NFC Championship, go fucking on the fucking Lions, bruh. Lions hold NFC Championship banners. We are the San Francisco 49ers. Super Bowl or bust, baby. That is our standard. They act like they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yep. They act like they've won the Super Bowl. Even Debo saying, "We've been the best team." Have you? Because last time I checked, every year under Kyle that's been a playoff year, season ended in a loss, brother.
All right. Go ahead. So let's move into one of the reasons why I am kind of scared about this team. And his name is Ramondre Stevenson. So you got Ramondre Stevenson, and then you have Antonio Gibson as their top two running backs. Both of them are about 225-ish, I believe, is roughly what they wear. And these two guys are just going to run. This offense is old school Texas, Oklahoma, Midwest football. This is going to be three downs and a cloud of dust. These boys are going to just hand the ball off, run up the middle over and over and over. And guess where we're weak at, by the way? Anybody know where this defense is really weak at right now? Right up the middle. We can't stop anybody.
I'm going right at Kevin Givens and Jordan Elliott and saying stop you. Because let's be real, exactly. Jason, when have we ever under Sean McVay, when have we ever seen the Yams go in majority of two? What's up, Mimi? Good to see you, baby. When is the last time we've seen the Yams go two tight end? I want to say something like 40% of their plays were two tight ends. What does that tell you? We are going to run the ball down your throats because we know you can't stop it.
And that is what these guys are going to do. Throwback, what's up, man? You may have found media, but like Carmen Sandiego, he took off already. He said he was bouncing to go play some bits ball a little earlier. But thank you for showing up, though, Throwback.
I don't think we've seen you before, Throwback. Welcome to the show.
But yeah, so if there's, like you were talking about earlier, if there's a reason for them, he said Stevenson is 6'2", and that is a solid two. You can be a guy who's 6 foot and that kind of a body frame at 227, 230. That is a solid gentleman right there. And like you were talking about earlier, if they're going to stick around in this game in the third quarter, late in the third, fourth quarter, it's going to be because those two guys are just going to probably run for at least $175 between the two of them.
Everybody's talking about our D-line. Jason, when's the last time you said this D-line took over this football game? When? I can't even think off the top of my head.
21, maybe?
Where you said – go ahead.
I'll say it's been a minute. Like, I can't think of the last time I was like, damn, this D-line is amazing.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother. We invite the invitation for all faithful to come on the show, bro. We're for the faithful, by the faithful. So anybody who wants to come on the show, we're more than welcome. Y'all more than welcome to. We suggest Tuesday because your boy sometimes has a little bit too much to drink on Friday nights.
But as far as their offense overall, I'm not worried about Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball.
No.
I mean, he's got 369 yards total in there. Basically, for everybody who thinks Dobbs is going to be like the end all, I'm sorry. Jacoby Brissett is basically what Dobbs is going to be should he be handed the team and being the starter. I like both of these guys. I think they're great backups / bridge quarterbacks. But the high end of it is they're not great. they'll be good for a game or two here, but otherwise, yeah. But their running game is where it's at. Total yards per game is only 200, less than 250. They've got a terrible third down percentage. Their punt return average isn't great. Their kick return average isn't great. So again, this game is going to be a lot of, as you said, probably two tight end. Damn near. They might as well just bring back the I formation, old school power I formation in this game, and just run it down their throat. Yeah, bring a fullback in. Go find out wherever Mike Allstott is and just bring him, because that's what we're going to see out of this one. The only receiver, and the only
Brian?
threat I can see with them passing the ball is going to be by Hunter Henry. I could see him getting behind some of our guys. What's up, Brian? Thank you for showing up, brother. So that's all I got in their offense.
Moving on to the defense.
All right, so the three guys I'm looking at on their defense is going to be Jabril Peppers. I can't even speak right. At least I'm not calling everybody George this week. Keon White and Jaylani Tavia. They've actually got, basically, it reminds me a lot of Mason. This defense, they're really good. They're only giving up 19 points per game. Not bad, 10. Total yards, though, they go down a little bit. They're at 327. Passing yards.
Yards don't mean shit.
True, they don't. But they are 1-2. I mean, they did beat, was it the Bengals week 1 that they beat? And then they lost to the Seahawks, somebody else. But they actually had a pretty close game with the Seahawks. Was it Jets? That's right, it was the Jets. I think about it.
Yeah,
so
last was the Jets.
So the defense is not terrible. And like I said, where they're going to come at us is they're going to throw those multiple fronts against us and confuse Brock. Let's see. Yeah, Keon is a record. He's got 4 sacks, which I think is tied for like 4th in the league right now. 4 sacks, going into the 4th game. So you're getting 1.133 per game kind of a thing so far. Not a bad average, if you ask me. You're really trying to get that alcohol in your mouth, aren't you?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Your boy's probably at a 7.5 ish right now. So I'm trying to calm myself down a little bit.
You're making up for the fact that I can't drink tonight because I got to get up so early for work in the morning.
Bubby's either trying to take advantage of me tonight, or she's trying to be like, "Hey, I don't want to do shit." And to her credit, she does have to work and attend a party tomorrow, so she's probably trying to make sure your boy's passed out by 8:30. It's either she's trying to take advantage of me, or she's trying to make sure I'm passed out by 8:30.
Just go to sleep. I don't want to deal with you the rest of the night.
Yeah, just go to sleep. Night.
But yeah, so excuse me. If expecting a big day, another big day from Juwan. Maybe BA decides to come out of his shell. Be the BA that we remember. Maybe. Here's an idea for Kyle.
That we remember, or is it that Brock doesn't trust him? Because wasn't it, I believe, tops in yards per separation per yards separation per routes run. I think it was BA number 1. It was some type of separation.
Yeah, it was BA.
So Dave Lombardi was very much like, this is the BA that we've seen. He's just not getting the targets that BA would normally get. Let's be real. I fully expected BA to have the game that Juwan did last week.
I don't think
and
as I've said a few times now, show me a game where Debo hasn't played, where BA has had just an outstanding game by himself solo. He's a great Robin, but when he comes time for him to be Batman, he's not a great Batman.
He's not. Now you could make an argument on whether we should have paid him or what. I mean, it is what it is at this point. He got paid, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I thought last week was BA's big chance to come out and say, "Oh, y'all forgot about your boy," or this is because BA's camp's argument all off season were, if we got the opportunities like a St. Brown, like a Jamar Chase, like a Jefferson, we would put up the same numbers that they did. And you know what? Honestly, If you would have told me that BA and Juwan Jennings, switched their stat lines, I would have believed BA would have put up, or Juwan would have put up BA's numbers and BA would have put up Juwan's numbers.
That's what you would expect. That's what we've all been expecting. Because we've seen BA put up those great numbers when he's playing that number 2 role to Debo.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen him when, like you said, when it's his chance to step up and be the man. And yes, we're going a little hard on him, but when you play that game in the offseason, you ask for all the smoke.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. You're getting all the smoke
asked for
right
this.
now.
It would have been different if you showed up. You would have did the Fred Warner. Hey, I'm going to participate. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do all the, and did it the right way. But you were out there, let's be real, being lightweight a prima donna. Yeah. And that's
especially
look, if you put up, we shut up, right? If you put up, we shut up. But this is welcome to get paid on a non-rookie contract, BA. This is what happens when you start making the big boy bucks.
And to your point where he's saying that, it's not just that the Brock doesn't have the trust in him. The Brock doesn't have the trust in him right now. The timing's not there. And I think that's more than anything else. He's just not used to the new, because every year is a little slightly different with receivers and quarterbacks and timing and everything, and they just don't have that timing down right now when it comes to TJ pulling everything off the screen right now, just putting my big face and showing my terrible room right now. It's
My bad.
trash.
My bad.
Yeah, so ignore the trashy room right now. There's a fish tank, as you guys can see. There's a new one that I got. That's probably so I gotta make room for that and set that up hopefully before TJ gets here in a couple weeks. But all of that timing and everything is just not there right now between those two. And yes, there probably is, compounding it, a little bit of mistrust there. It's just not there, just because they haven't had the time to build it back up.
Well, let's be real. We talked about how Debo had the camp of his life, right?
Yeah.
So if you put a gun to Brock's head, 4th down, Super Bowl on the line, who do you think he's going to? Debo, who he's had all offseason to build that chemistry, to build that trust, to say, hey, Debo showed up in shape, all those things, or BA that, regardless of the situation, was running on the side all offseason?
I'll counter that, though. Had that been last season, he would have gone to BA.
Yeah, he would have.
And that's the reason why he got the contract, which he deserved, because last season he was that guy in that situation. He was looking to BA first before Debo.
I came out and said it was malpractice that to take away Brock's number clearly last year. Just coming out of last year, not speaking about anything from this year. I thought it was malpractice to take your young quarterback's number 1 receiver that he clearly had trust. I mean, let's look like the last week, the throw to Juwan, the let's be real, 70-30 ball towards the defense. That wasn't a scheme. That wasn't this is the right read. That was simply, I trust Juwan to make the play.
Mm-hmm.
That was BA last year. How can you still maintain that confidence when you haven't had an opportunity to build it? And let's be real, every time Brock's gone to BA, he has not came through.
Yeah. I like what Bebop says here. I said that earlier. His production was his production caused by being the fourth target? Yeah. Because even at this point, it's almost, and again, I don't understand this. Why is Ronnie Bell a bigger part of this offense? Now, whether that is because, as Bebop's pointing out, that he's higher on the progression than BA is, I don't know. But if he is the 4th progression right now, why? Ronnie Bell, that's a whole, we can get in the whole, that's a whole different situation. But
you and I, Jason, were very much like, hey, BA is the number 1 wide receiver of this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all offseason, I said, what? We value BA.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean Kyle does.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we feel, Kyle's watched this team Kyle's watched Debo take this team kicking and streaming all the way from, let's be real, what should have been an NFC championship.
Yep.
He's never seen that from BA. I don't ever remember Debo being in Kyle's quote unquote Kyle's doghouse. We all know BA went through it.
Yeah. All right.
One
So
of my
what we
favorite
got
parts
here?
of this show.
Yeah. Huh?
I said one of my favorite parts of this show, actually, even though
We
I don't
got
play
the,
fantasy football.
The fantasy football numbers. All right. So with these ones, I actually think Purdy's are going to be a little bit higher. Mason looks about right if he gets maybe about 100 yards and a touchdown or so. The BA ones, I don't know why BA is so high. And again, as you can see at the bottom, I pull these numbers straight off the Sleeper app, which is the best fantasy football app you can play football on. So if the Sleeper app wants to sponsor us, please let us know.
Yeah, please.
I just don't have the faith in him to get that many fantasy points.
No.
That said, Juwan Jennings at about 11 and a half points, it's about right. And actually,
I'll take Kittle corn.
Kittle, yeah, Kittle. Is one I think is right on. Debo, I'm actually kind of expecting to be a little bit higher. You know what I mean? Because without, or excuse me, if he's going to be about 12, if he is playing like he's expected to, I actually expect Jennings and BA's number to go down because again, we're still working on BA. And hopefully, he comes back and he can take some of those the numbers that he got from BA out.
I mean, it's no secret. What happened? Wasn't it? Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but out of halftime last year in the NFC Championship, wasn't it 4 straight targets to Debo? Coming out of halftime last year in the NFC Championship game? When it's crunch time, we all know Kyle goes to Debo.
Yep. So
I would expect Debo to be higher as well.
The one I'm looking at here for probably going to be a lot higher is the two guys between the double trouble of Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. I expect both of these guys to have high numbers. I expect Stevenson probably be closer to 20 and Gibson probably closer to 10 because, like I said, it's going to be three downs and cloud of dirt, just like some old school Big Ten football.
Well, that's number one, underdog 101. Underdog 101. Run the football, limit there. Because let's be real. The Niners have not, besides last, which was kind of weird, the Niners offensively haven't gotten off to great starts, minus last week. So if I was New England coming into this game, I would say the Niners this ain't week 1. We're not going on 8 straight scoring drives. That's not happening. I could even see it for a while, it taking us a while to get rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So if I was the Patriots, I would say, hey, my number one objective in this game is limit San Francisco's offensive productions. Because let's be real, when does the Niner offense work the best? When we can run the football, shorten the game, beat you up physically, and take the game over in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Okay. All right, so now we've got the numbers from BetMGM. Okay, so let's start with the over-under. 40.5. You taking the over or the under, TJ?
So that's what, 20 and a half or 20 and a quarter each?
Yep.
That actually is set at the perfect number. Because let's be real, if this game gets into a shootout, I actually honestly favor the Patriots more.
It's not going to be a shootout.
I want to say this game is like a 13-27 Niner win, but I haven't seen that we're holding a team to under 13 points from this defense. I have not seen it from this defense yet. So I'm going to take the over just because although I do have more faith in our offense than the Patriots offense, I have very little faith in our defense versus the Patriots offense, if that makes any sense.
It's sad that we're losing faith in the defense on this team. I mean, always been?
I'll say this. They got to prove it to me, bro. They got to show me that week where you're like, okay, the defense dominated this game.
All right. Now, do you think they will cover the spread of 10.5 points? That's a big spread.
That is I think they cover that spread. I don't see the Niners winning by 10, 11, basically.
I don't think they cover.
Yeah, I don't think they cover. I don't see us beating them by 11 points.
Okay.
10 points? Maybe. Like, I see this being like a 9
I see it as 10. I see it as a
10.
score, but I see it closer to 10 than 14.
So, like 27-17 football game?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'll take that.
All right. So, like I said, all these numbers, again, were pulled from BetMGM. Jordan Mason, you can take the over on him?
He has to be. Yeah, he has to be.
Yep. That's why I say if we're going to win this game, he has to be the over on this aspect. All right, here comes the one where it's going to get a little tricky. BA, 61.5 yards.
I'm going to take the over just because he's going to have to break out eventually, right? Like,
Yep,
BA is going to have his breakout game. So why not this one, I guess?
And you know what? That's literally the only reason why I'm taking the over, because at some point he has to have that game where it's just like he's like, you know what, hey, I'm back.
We're in big trouble.
Yeah, but you're expecting it. So it's almost like you're going to keep putting money down and slamming that money down on that one eventually, and either it's going to hit.
Eventually, it's like I told you with CMC, bro. I'm going to take CMC scoring a touchdown every game just because I know I'm going to be right more than I'm going to be wrong. You know, yeah. I look at it like, look, BA is going to have his breakout game. You know?
When. It's just when.
It's just when.
All right, so Brock, over or under 233?
Way over.
Yep,
Way
I'll take the over on that one as well.
Yeah.
And okay, so now here's one. 8.5 tackles for Fred. With the way these guys are running the ball, I am taking the over on that all day.
Bam Bam, I believe Bam Bam is playing a Defensive Player of the Year award. I was mistaken. I would have to look up to choose who I picked as team MVP.
We probably both picked like Purdy or something like that.
Yeah, CMC probably for me.
Yeah.
I honestly, at this point in time, I think Fred Warner is going to prove he's the best player on this defense, even over Nick Bosa.
I agree.
I think by the end of the year, you and I and everybody's talking about, you know, I think come later on the year, people start to say the words future Hall of Famer Fred Warner.
Oh, I think those words are already creeping into a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah. But I think it's just like All-Pro Fred, like how All-Pro Fred came about, you know, a year before he actually made All-Pro. I think this is the year where we start to say future Hall of Famer Fred Warner.
And like I said, with them running the ball straight up the middle for the most part,
that's Fred's game.
Exactly. He's going to be there to clean up. So definitely not the over on that one. And now to everybody's new favorite slide. We've got who are the fans? Who are some of the celebrity fans of the New England Patriots? And with this one, I noticed we have a lot of people who are part of some comic book movies, except for maybe one guy on this list. But hey, you could say Kofi Kingston looks like a comic book character, right? I mean, wrestlers are made up comic kind of thing, so they work. So obviously, you know, leading them all, you've got to have Captain America, a.k.a. Chris Evans, leading them all.
I didn't know he was a Patriots fan.
Huh?
I did not know he was a Patriots fan.
Neither did I, but apparently.
Mark Wahlberg isn't a Patriots fan?
He is.
Okay.
I should put him on here because I noticed a bunch of, you know, superhero type things, so I just went with that idea. We can go old school, but you know, the original Daredevil, which was actually a terrible Daredevil movie. But although you never saw the original Daredevil with Ben Affleck, it's terrible. But
I'm not a big superhero movie guy.
Fair. But in the new Deadpool movie, they did bring back Jennifer Garner as Elektra, who was also in that Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. So we'll cross over with that. And the man I am still, to this day, think would have been a better choice than what's his name is Pedro Pascal. Even though I love Pedro Pascal as an actor, I don't think he was the right person to pick as for being Mr. Fantastic in the new Fantastic Four. It should have been John Krasinski. He looks exactly like him. And hell, we even got a little bit of him in the WandaVision movie. So, or no, that was Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange movie. So, we got him. Obviously, Kofi Kingston, part of the New Day, one-time WWE champion, and like 10-time WWE Tag Team Champion. And then there's a guy you guys can't see up there on the screen, John Cena. You can't see me. Also, a Patriots fan.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's from Massachusetts, so
yeah.
But yeah, so that's it, TJ.
Nobody that, I mean, Captain America kind of did surprise me, but Ben Affleck, none of these people. I mean, Kofi Kingston. Okay, I wouldn't have, if you put a gun to my head and asked me if he was a Patriots fan, I wouldn't have guessed it. But pretty much most people on here, definitely Ben Affleck and John Cena, I would have been like, if not for the fact that they're from New England, they just seem like they'd be cool with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I can see all these guys hanging out with Tom Brady.
So, yeah, this is actually one of my favorite segments. I kind of like that because, I've always felt it kind of cool. Like I've liked it. Jeremy Roenick's a Niner fan.
Yep.
I like it that Robin Williams was like Robin Williams, undeniable. Like I'm from Frisco, nigga. Type of Niner fan.
Like they need to do something with him and Levi's. You know what I mean? Do something with Robin Williams related in the stadium or something like that. That'd be pretty badass.
He's dead.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, do some sort of, because it's Robin fucking Williams, greatest comedian of all time. Do something with it. You know what I mean? Have like a Robin Williams night, and everybody come dressed up as everybody would probably just dress up as Mrs. Doubtfire. Have like everybody come dressed up as your favorite, Robin Williams character or something like that. But
that actually is a good trivia question. Like, what is your favorite Robin Williams character? Like, you obviously got for the longest time, when I planned to do Good Morning Niner Empire, I planned to start it by saying, Legendary Morning Niner Empire, from Good Morning Vietnam,
Yeah, I can't think of that guy's name, that character's name, but that would be my favorite Robin Williams character. Good Morning Vietnam.
Like Mrs. Doubtfire is probably the like I still look at my I still all the time I'll be like, I feel pretty, oh so pretty, or like sometimes I'll answer I'll be talking to my boys or whatever like that. I'll be like, I don't work with the males. I used to be one. For Mrs. Mrs. Doubtfire and Flubber are probably like my two top 5 quoted movies. That's not Harry Potter.
Mrs. Doubtfire's fire.
Like my favorite all-time thing to do is when somebody says you have to wait. I'd be like, I did my waiting, 12 years of it in Azkaban. That's like one of my favorite things to do. Me and Jason are totally nerding out right now.
Like, what's funny is that there's only a few people like me and Deb were watching the new Rings of Power, and they had a troll show up, and one of the elves was like, "Look, it's a troll!" And at the same time, we both went in the dungeon. You should know.
You should know. Me and Bubby all the time. We'll quote. We'll quote. Like one time, she handed me a sock. Coming to America on Friday. Yeah, I always like to go. Good morning, my neighbors. Hey, fuck you. Yes, fuck you too. Or what was the other one? Coming to America on Friday. Come on, bro. Everybody who's gone to somebody to try to get them to smoke weed has gone. You ain't got a job. You ain't got shit else to do.
Or shit. When I got fired, a couple months ago, that's the first thing my friend Dan called me. He's like, "Can we get high?" I'm like, I'm allergic to weed, man. He's like, "But you ain't got shit to do. You ain't got no job.
You ain't got shit else to do." Or I was watching this meme the other day. And it was like top 5 funny quotable whatever, right? It was Hercules. And I was like, yeah, everybody used to do that as me as a kid. Or speaking of Hook, my mom always used to say I looked like the little black kid in Hook. and I do the Peter.
It's been so long since
Can I
I've seen that
talk
movie.
to you? It's a black kid that walks up to Peter. And goes,
No, I remember, but I can't remember what he looks like.
He's the one that has Tibbs marbles.
Okay,
Yeah. And he goes, Peter, can I talk to you? And my mom said I used to sound just like him. And everything. Like, oh yeah, y'all don't want to get me started on quotable movies. Yeah, but I'll do. I did my waiting, 12 years of it, in Azkaban, or like a glove.
All right.
But anyway,
We need to get out of here because I really got to get to bed.
Yeah, your boy's starting to quote Robin Williams and shit. It's time to call. Oop.
TJ Zombie said way too much to drink tonight, and he's only had one.
He had too much to drink tonight. I think it's time to call it a night.
All right, man. Last thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, the words "must win" seem a little bit weird here, but it starts to feel like that, bro.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If we don't win this week, the season's definitely in the balance. Because this was supposed to be the time period where we racked up our wins, where we built the momentum. We got the 2, 3, 4, 5 wins that were going to carry us through the last year. So you start to go under 500 in the easy part of the schedule.
It gets real ugly.
Start to get hairy, brother.
Yep.
All right, bro. We'll catch you on Tuesday.
Yep. Later. All right, everybody. Thank you once again for showing up to our Niner Faithful Radio Weekend Review Show. Don't forget, tomorrow we do have Jamie, who is going to be coming. Hopefully, the injury report and the transactions and all that kind of stuff will come out before she does her. If not, I'll try and push them out depending on what I have going on. And then don't forget, on Sunday, TJ will have the pregame. I will have the halftime show. And then Jamie will be doing the postgame show. But until then, everybody, y'all have a good night. Fafatai, Talava. One love, chat. Deuces.